Closing arguments were made today in the murder trial of Todd Kendhammer before the case was handed off to the jury to decide.
The jurors were sequestered just before noon today, and News 8's Mal Meyer joins us live from the La Crosse County Courthouse, where he is awaiting the verdict.
Mike and Martha, the jury has been deliberating for over 6 hours now, and they have not asked any questions at this point. There is potential that they will keep working to make a decision. However, there are rooms available at a hotel if they need to be sequestered for the night. Now, before the jurors left to discuss everything presented during the trial, attorneys for the state and defense attempted to wrap up any loose ends while providing potential theories about what led to Barbara Kendhammer's death. Now, the La Crosse County District Attorney started off day 9 of the trial by saying he thought he had all the answers beyond a reasonable doubt. He told the jury that the defendant, Todd Kendhammer, had lied multiple times about who he was driving to see the day of the car accident. The DA then launched into his theory that something happened that led Todd to brutally beat his wife Barbara while inside the car.
It did not come from a pipe that came through a window from a truck or otherwise. The injuries were intentionally inflicted by the defendant. These weren't accidents. They weren't just fooling around and got out of hand. And he intended to kill her by keeping her from getting help, hiding her from Mr. Erler, not calling 911.
Defense attorney Stephen Hurley then gave his closing argument, saying that experts couldn't explain all the wounds, but that doesn't mean foul play was involved. He questioned how Todd's DNA evidence was collected from underneath Barbara's nails and said that that wasn't from a fight, that you would expect that because they are a couple. The defense also argued that police were instantly suspicious of Todd's story and never considered alternative theories.
Right away, interpreting inaccuracy as lies rather than the product of distress. In less than 2 hours, they were at his home questioning his son Jordan. Do they argue? How are their finances?
When the state was offered a final rebuttal, the DA imitated how long it would take before Todd called 911 by dramatically staring at a clock at the back of the courtroom and counting off the minutes that had passed. Now the jury will decide whether these points make him innocent or guilty. Mike and Martha?
All right, thanks a lot, Mel, and we will continue to provide updates as well as live coverage when the verdict is handed down on our News 8000 Facebook page and also our News 8000 website.